Hi, this is Mike, the PrepperNerd, and I'm here with another video on the Prep Inventory System. This video is going to be about my premium support option. When you sign up for the Prep Inventory System, there's an option for premium support, so I want to share what that is and why you would want it. So first, in the way of updates, like I like to do at the beginning of these videos, I've now set up 220 people with their own Prep Inventory System, which is really exciting. And we have now over 2,700 food items in the barcode database. So these are all food items that you can add to your food inventory with a simple scan of a barcode using your mobile device or smartphone. If you would like your own Prep Inventory System, I invite you to sign up. You can go to PrepperNerd.com, and as part of that sign up process, on the checkout page, there's the option for premium support. A lot of people have signed up for it just based on the information on the checkout page, which is great. And so for those people, I want to make sure that you understand what's available to you as part of the premium support option. And for those that haven't signed up for it, I want you to understand what could be available to you. And for those who have signed up but haven't opted for the premium support, I'm going to offer a special discounted price for you. The discounted price that would have been available to you when you first signed up, just because I understand that it may not have been perfectly clear what this would get you. So the reason I do charge a little bit extra is so that I can keep the price of the system itself as low as possible. So, it's not necessary to have the premium support, but it is really valuable, and it'll help you to, get the most out of your system, and for it to be as efficient as possible for you. So, with that said, I wanted to cover, what does it mean to have standard support? What's the difference between standard support and premium support? So standard support is basically, I want to make sure that you understand how to use the system. So, I have a playlist on YouTube for, how to get started quickly with the system. And a lot of people reference that and find the answers that they need, and they're off and running. Sometimes, people do reach out. I get quite a few emails, both in terms of asking questions, as well as a lot of very positive feedback about what the system is helping, how it's helping them, and that's just always awesome to hear from people that the system is benefiting and helping. So in addition to supporting you with how to use the system, I also support you with keeping your drop-down options for some of these columns updated. So when you first sign up for the Prep Inventory System, you fill out what I call a preferences form, and you indicate to me, what categories do you want to use for your food? What storage areas do you want to use? What storage containers do you want to use? What storage container names? So you can tell me exactly what options you want available. See, as I drop down, you can see you can just select from this drop down list based on those options. Okay. And so you tell me up front in that preferences form what options you want for each of these fields, both for the food inventory and for the supplies and equipment inventory. But of course, sometimes people need changes, or they want, new options added as they start, organizing their preps. And, that's part of what I'm here for. Smartsheet doesn't allow non-licensed users to update the options in drop-down fields. So that's why I need to be involved. But there's also other reasons. I mean, even if Smartsheet provided that capability, some of these things, require other changes to make everything work together properly with the system so that things show up on the dashboard correctly. So, okay, so again, standard support is maintaining and updating the drop-down options and also helping you to make sure that you are able to use the system. And then so that brings me to the question, well then what is premium support? So Premium support allows you to request customizations that will help to personalize your prep inventory system to a much greater level, making it more customized and easily used by you for your specific needs. So the first benefit of premium support is a really powerful feature of Smartsheet that takes a greater degree of customization, which is why it's in the premium support option. And that features automation. So I'm going to show you what I mean by automation. There's a couple of examples, and just to give you kind of a context for what it can do, so that you can think about how you might apply this in your own circumstance or situation. So, the first example is a alert. You see this workflow right here called alert someone. So an example of an alert is that a specific food has reached a certain number of days away from its best by date. So for example, when these refried beans approach this best by date, Smartsheet, your prep inventory system, could automatically send you an email informing you that this specific food is a certain number of days away from the best by date. And you can pick whatever you want, 90 days, 30 days, 7 days, whenever you would want to be informed that a food item is approaching its best by date. Okay, so that's pretty powerful for those of you who track best by dates. But again, that's just an example. Another example might be a reminder. Okay, so the way you might use a reminder is, you might want to be reminded every week on Saturday. Okay, and you might want to be reminded to, go back through your inventory and make specific updates. Or you might want to be reminded to on a once a month basis to go through the supplies that you have stored away and make sure that your rechargeable batteries or emergency radios charge is topped up, for example. Or you might want to be reminded on a quarterly basis to practice a certain skill, a certain survival skill, or SHTF skill, right? So any type of reminder that you want to be prompted for on a periodic basis is available through automation. Another, just simple example, but I'm trying to help you understand the context of what this can do, is you might want to be notified when your total stored food exceeds a certain number of days, or maybe goes below a certain number of days. Maybe you've decided once you got above a certain level, maybe a year of stored food, that you're going to take a break, or not that I would advise this, but you're happy with where you are, but you want to be notified once you have used some of that food, rotated through some of that food, and your total stored food dips below a certain level or a certain number of days. Again, just examples, but these are the types of things that are possible through automation. So one of the things that I wanted to cover that you would have available to you with the premium support option is filtering. So as you can see here, there's this drop-down list, and there's a number of predefined filters that I've built into every user's system, but sometimes these filters aren't exactly aligned with the categories that you might have selected for your personal system. So with the premium support option, you can request for any filters to be created. Okay, so you can see here I have a category for breakfast. So by filtering specifically for breakfast, it shows me just the items where the category is breakfast or fruit, right? So it makes it really, really easy to jump to these different categories. There's filters here for best by date. So I can see, okay, is there, what do I have that has a best by date of less than 90 days? So I can see everything that is kind of in that red category, right, of days until best by date. Or there's other types of filters, and you're not limited to these. You can ask for pretty much any filter you want based on the data that you're capturing here. So these are just examples. So, for example, what do I have stored in bins, right? What do I have where, the containers, what's in my freezer, right? And down here, what's in my garage rafter? So there's just these different filters that make it really easy to jump to different information about your food inventory. Same is true for supplies and equipment. I'm not going to jump over to that sheet because it's pretty much set up the same way, but it's specifically for supplies and equipment. You can have me create filters for your supplies and equipment inventory. Okay, so next, in terms of premium support customizations that you can request are additional columns. Okay, so I'm going to hide these for a second. The columns that you see here are the ones that are available by default, but those that have premium support have requested additional columns, and that's part of the reason why you'd want premium support. So just as an example, some people have asked for a column for tracking how much their food has cost, right? So they can see, based on previous costs that they had paid, when they're at the store the next time, whether the price that they're seeing in the store is higher or lower, maybe a good deal, whether it's on sale. They have that point of reference for whether to buy when they're in the store, buying that same type of item. Another example of a column that people have asked for is target package quantity. So this is like, I've got, three, let's say, I've got one bucket of black beans, right? So you can see black beans and there's a package quantity of 1, but my target quantity is 3, okay? So this gives you a helpful reference. Basically, you could ask me to set up a rule where the package quantity is less than the target package quantity, and it would automatically, show up for you with, some sort of visual indicator, like red background or something like that. Other columns that people have asked for, food allergy information, like somebody asked for a column with checkboxes for whether a food item was gluten-free or not, so that they could then you see what, how much of their food is, appropriate, right, in terms of food allergies for their child. And, that kind of information could even be brought over to the dashboard so that, when you see your total stored food, you could ask for a customization, for example, to show not only the grand total, but the total of the food that is gluten-free, for example. So that's really cool. There's just lots of different ways that people might want to use this information based on their own personal needs. Another person, just as a final example, asked for a column with a checkbox for whether the food item was microwavable, right? They have their own reasons for doing that, and that's perfectly fine, and I can support that. Another feature that's available to you with premium support is sorting. So, there's a sort rows option here that is available to me, but unfortunately is not available to people that are not licensed with Smartsheet. So if you ask me to sort by, most of the time people ask for sorting by category or description. So, I could sort this by, description, or I could sort it by category and then description. And the reason why this can be helpful is, and you can see I just resorted it. So the reason this can be helpful is because, lots of times people will enter their food into the inventory and it's not necessarily organized by category in the way that they enter it into the inventory. So, everything kind of gets mixed together, and which is okay, but from, a visual standpoint, when you're referring to this information later, it's helpful to be able to see things grouped together in this way. Something else that you could ask for that's related to this could be creating reports. So for example, you could say, okay, that you want a report that, instead of having to ask me for sorting, every so often, however often you might need it, you could ask me for a report that just, you could say, Mike, I want, category, description, best by date, and days until best by date. And I want that in a report, and I want it sorted by best by date, ascending, so that the oldest stuff is at the top and the newest stuff is at the bottom. I could, as part of your premium support, I can offer that customization, that custom report for you. And then I can actually just go ahead and link that report into your dashboard. So you now end up with a customized dashboard specifically for your needs. And people have asked for that, sorted by best by date or sorted by category, etc. So, and then last, this dashboard, suits a lot of people's needs. I think it's really effective the way it's already built out, but with the premium support option, you would be able to ask for customizations to the dashboard. If there are things that are significantly larger in scope and effort, and are things that are really more geared toward kind of a rollout for all users, that might be something that becomes like a feature request rather than a custom support type of project for me. But that actually hasn't happened yet with the premium support customers, so I'm not so worried about that. But there's a lot we can do, and one of the reasons why Smartsheet is the right tool for the job, from my perspective, is that it allows this type of personalization and customization for each individual user. And it's really powerful in the different things that can be done. Once you start getting the hang of it, and once you realize, what your needs are in terms of customization, that's really handy to have those options available to you. So in order to get the premium support, when you check out, there's a box there that you just you check a box on the checkout form, and it adds the premium support option for you. Again, if you add it when you are signing up originally for the Prep Inventory system, it's only $10 a year. If you sign up later on, let's say you use the system for a while, a couple months or whatever, and then you want to add that premium support option, it would be $20 a year at that point. Okay. And again, I'm going to offer that $10 off to people who have bought the Prep Inventory system so far, because, hopefully this helps them understand better, what is available to them with this option. So I'm going to be emailing anybody who has purchased the Prep Inventory system and who did not opt into the premium support option with that discount opportunity. So with that said, I think I'm going to close the video there, and I just want to remind you to please give this video a thumbs up or thumbs down to tell YouTube to show it to more people, and appreciate if you subscribe and hit the bell if you'd like to be notified of future videos that I do. And with that said, I am PrepperNerd, and I thank you for watching.